Okay, you're not making this easy on me, Apple. Alright, we've got more bad news for the iPhone 12, because that's just what 2020 needed. And I don't know if I want to believe it or not, but you know me, I'm always trying to look at the positive spin on things, but sounds like iPhone 12 batteries will be shrinking, not getting bigger. Oh god, okay. There's gotta be a positive spin on it. There's gotta be a positive spin. I'll get back to you on that. Let's begin. Alright, so this report comes from My Smart Price, which sadly, for the love of God, they've gotten things kind of accurate in the past. So I can't even write this off as some unreliable leaker. And what I hate about this report is how specific they are, because that shows me it's not really someone making stuff up. You know those nobody Twitter accounts that were made like a month ago that are tweeting like, oh yeah, everything's back from the dead, and you don't want to believe them just because they have no track record and they're saying all kinds of crazy stuff. You're like, why would we believe them? No, this leaker actually has gotten some stuff right before. More recently, they tweeted out that image of the 20-watt USB-C charge brick. That totally looks real. Anytime we get those little charge brick leaks, they usually end up happening, but who knows, maybe that could just be for the iPad or something. But for the regular iPhone 11 switching to the iPhone 12 Max, it could be as big as a 10% drop in the physical size of the battery. And it only gets worse from there. When it comes to the iPhone 11 Pro, which is a 5.8-inch display, which is being ditched in favor of a 6.1-inch display, so more display, more pixels, and they're shrinking that battery by around 9%. And when it comes to the Max phone, going from 11 Pro Max to now the larger display, 12 Pro Max, a 7% decrease in battery size, which, here's some positive notes. It'll be lighter. If you wanted the phones to be lighter, I guess maybe if there's physically less battery in it, maybe the phone's footprint will be larger. So also, maybe this just means that the A14 chip is just that good, right? I mean, if we look at years prior, there have been several instances of Apple shrinking the physical size of the battery, but typically it results in the same battery life or better because of the silicon that iPhone was rocking being much more power efficient. So maybe the A14 chip has got some, miraculous power saving techniques on its side, and battery life will be the same as last year, just with much physically smaller batteries. It's still hard to spin that as a positive, honestly, because if that were the case, I would still want them to include the same size battery packs, just with the more power efficient A14 chip, and then we get even better battery life. No one would have been mad about that, Apple, come on. But I'm just genuinely trying to figure out what is going on internally with the iPhone 12, that they actually have to shrink the batteries. Particularly, the most bizarre part of this leak is the one for the iPhone 11 Pro, because that one is already pretty small, and its replacement is going to be physically larger. So I am very confused why they have to shrink the size of the battery by 10% if the phone screen size and footprint is increasing in size. Like, what can this A14 chip actually handle? And I highly doubt Apple would be the type of company to just be like, you know what, this year battery life is gonna be a little worse for all of yous because the battery life was just so good with the iPhone 11 series that we don't even need to improve it. In fact, we can deprove it and it will still be good enough for your daily tasks, alright? That doesn't sound like Apple. I don't think that's the case, and I really hope that My Smart Price was, given some false information and these leaks end up being completely wrong. That would be best case scenario, because finding out that with the 11 Pro Max we were so dang close to having a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in an iPhone, and then the following year they drop it back down to under 3,700 milliamp hours, which, come on, Apple, sometimes, specs aren't everything, but sometimes it would be kind of nice if we didn't have to compromise with these lower specs. I'm particularly concerned knowing that the resolutions and the screen sizes are going to be larger with this year's iPhones, and the batteries are going to be shrinking. Particularly, can't believe I haven't thought of this yet, the 5G modems as well. All these iPhones are supposed to be rocking 5G, Apple, and we know what 5G does to battery life. We also know what 120 hertz does to battery life, so oh no. Okay, that means if this leak ends up being true, there's almost no chance of 120 hertz being real, because that would absolutely butcher battery performance. So that's not good either. Yeah, it feels like this was the year to drastically increase the battery packs on the inside. So why Apple would decide to downside here, I don't know. But if there was more reason for you guys to not believe that the 12 Pro was gonna flop, this report also confirms that the iPhone 12 Max and the iPhone 12 Pro, both at 6.1 inches, will have the same size battery pack. So the internals would not be any different if you guys were thinking, oh, maybe the Pros will have better battery. With this leak, no, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. In fact, with the iPhone 12 Pro having a LiDAR sensor. If anything, this would make your camera battery drain faster on the more expensive iPhone than the cheaper iPhone 12 Max because it has less camera sensors to work with. And again, it really bugs me that they're giving us the exact milliamp hours and telling us the model names. Like, this does not sound like some random account just tweeting out garbage. This feels legit. This feels real. And of course, as we get closer to an iPhone release, typically the leaks get more and more accurate. So I won't say that this leak is impossible, but it just seems too bad to be true. Is that an expression? Usually it's too good to be true, but maybe in 2020 we can just go around and start saying this is too bad to be real. You know, I can't believe it's gotten even worse. But you guys know how these things go. Leading up to the iPhone 12 launch, everyone's gonna say it sucks, it'll be awful, this will be terrible. And then it comes out, and because it's a new design scheme and Apple's marketing is so good, we're all gonna fall in love with it and act like it's the coolest thing ever, and then we just get hyped for the next iPhone. This is the same cycle we do every year. But what do you guys think of the smaller iPhone battery rumor? Feel free to hit me up over on Twitter, join my Discord, and share my emotional tears over there. But please feel free to let me know that everything is going to be okay. And I don't even mind if it's false hope, because in 2020, I'm hanging on to any glimmer of hope we can possibly get at this point. This is your Alp Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.